Hey, everybody, welcome to the Anxiety Project podcast number 8. I am Brad Robinson, and today I got a really important topic for you. Those who have dealt with panic attacks, who are currently dealing with panic attacks. This one is about the panic attack and, the whole cycle of the panic attack, what not to do, what to do during a panic attack, and basically what I went through with panic attacks. Okay. So let me just start off by giving a little brief history. I did this before, I believe, in another podcast where I talked about my first panic attack, but I'll just tap into that really briefly. I had a panic attack when I was about 9 or 10. I remember I was watching a movie and then I felt funny. I focused in on my internal world, kind of like got distracted from the movie. And then I went upstairs, panicked because I thought I couldn't breathe and I was scared of not breathing and stuff like that. And then it kind of cycled onward. I pretty much always had like health anxiety. I remember sometimes I would call up my parents when I was younger and be like, what is this lump, or what is this, and what if I have this? And that would go on and for a while. And then now that in my 20s, when I started having panic attacks in my 20s, around 24, 25, once in a blue moon I would have one, and they would freak me out and stuff like that. But then when I was 25, then it really hit me, right? I started getting massive panic attacks, and then I had a chain reaction of panic attacks that would lead me to recovering completely. Okay, so I'm gonna give you the walkthrough of the panic attack that led me to my recovery. This was the panic attack that really brought upon weeks of severe health anxiety and severe panic attacks. And it was at the art gallery in Toronto. And I remember I was there, I was walking around, and then I wasn't really focusing on the work on the walls. I was focused internally, and I was with my girlfriend, and then stuff was happening in my head. I started to freak out of my sensations. And then, I started to walk away from her, just pretend I'm looking around, but I'm really internally a mess, chaotic mess. I couldn't really breathe properly, dizziness sort of a bit, and my heart was beating really fast. So I told her I need to sit down. We sit down, and she checked my pulse, and she said, your heart's beating really fast. So when she got concerned, I freaked out. Like, that was the end for me. I really was seriously, I thought I was, gonna die. The fear of death came into play in my head. The fear of not having control over my body, it was just absolutely horrific. I sort of put my head down. Nothing seemed to be helping my panic. So then I ran out of the room. Not really ran, but I told her I should go for a walk. Then I called up my family, and I was just like, I don't know what's going on. Like, I'm freaking out, and this has to be a health issue and stuff like that. And this isn't really right. This is just terrible. I don't know what's going on in my life. I'm just completely on automatic, and my body's just going off the rails, and I didn't know how to react. I couldn't slow down. By the time I got home later that evening, I was emotionally drained. All of your energy is all of my energy went towards that panic attack, and you just feel completely depleted. Okay. And now this panic attack kind of led more into a series of panic attacks the next week, brought on daily. So it's pretty much a battle with yourself. It's a battle about losing control in front of other people, what other people will think of you, and this is such a important topic for everybody out there, because a lot of people experience this, especially in today's society where it's just so chaotic. It's go, 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 go. And we don't really have time to relax and take care of ourselves. And then we end up having panic attacks. It's because it's overactivation of the subconscious mind. We're absorbing too much and we're not guarding our brains. We're not standing guard and using our thinking minds in order to control our non-thinking minds and our subconscious. And our subconscious is 1,000 times powerful than our conscious mind. Okay, because it's storing it's absorbing so much stuff, and we don't realize that it's all absorbed in you, and it's just going off the rails, and we end up having panic attacks and so forth. But I will talk about the cycle of panic, and what goes on. And yeah, so in the cycle of panic, you have your thoughts. Okay, you have your thoughts. What if I lose control and people judge me? What if I throw up all over the place? I feel sick. It makes me feel sick. And what if I throw up? What if I have to run out of the room and I'm in this concert, this symphony, and I have to run out of the room and it's so quiet in there, there's no way out, I'm going to panic. And it's the what if thinking, the catastrophic thinking that really fuels our panic. And it's really recovering from these panic attacks, or not really recovering, but mostly riding the waves of these panic attacks is our key to recovery. Riding the waves, not giving our panic any emotions, okay? But I'm going to go through the cycle of panic. This is more like on what to do. I'm just going to talk about the cycle. So the first thing is our thoughts, the what if thinking, what if this happens? What if this happens? What if this happens? And then our brains are so consumed with that what if thinking and the visualizations of the catastrophic events that we kind of just absolutely panic, okay? And then we have emotions, the anxiousness, the fear, the anger, you're scared, you're embarrassed. These emotions are so draining. You're holding your parts of your body, you're touching parts of your body. You don't know what to think. You're just so overwhelmed. You're scared. You're embarrassed. It's grueling. And then we have the physical sensations, the heart palpitations, the dizziness, the headaches, the chest pains, the lump in the throat feeling, the back pain, the tingling in the hands, the shaking. These are all part of the panic sensations, the physical symptoms. You have I remember in bed, I had a huge panic attack where I thought I was having a heart attack because I was feeling my arm and it was numb and I couldn't really breathe properly, and my heart palpitations. And this is so common. The heart attack, the sensations to panic are so similar, but it's really about, how do we combat these feelings? How do we recognize it, right? And because it's confusing, and you're confused, and I was confused, and I needed answers, and this is a place where you can find the answers. This podcast, my website, we're in a community here that we can find the answers to these issues, because these are big issues. And then after the physical sensations, we have the behaviors, running out of the room, calling a loved one for reassurance, touching parts of your body where you feel sensations. I had all of these behaviors. I had all of them. You know, running out of the room is sending a message to your brain saying, this place is dangerous. Don't come back here. And you know what? When I recovered, I went back there. And you know what happened when I went back to that art gallery? I felt the panic waves. The panic waves hit because now my subconscious is like, hey, remember this place? You ran away from it. This is dangerous. Why are you here? Then I started having physical sensations of panic again. And I recognized it because I knew that what my brain was telling me. I knew that this place sent me panic. This place, traumatized, me for that event where if I go back, it's like, what if it happens again? And then that what if thinking starts to happen. You see what I'm saying? What if I have another panic attack going there? And I was nervous when I went back there. I was already nervous before walking in, but I knew because I knew I had to face the fears, and that is what I'm going to get at, okay? So all of these cycles, the thoughts, the emotions, the physical sensations, the behaviors, it repeats itself, right? And how did I overcome panic? How did I overcome these attacks? Having a panic attack at this location, why would you want to go back there? Because you're going to have another one, most likely, if you don't come in prepared. And when I say prepared, you got to have the tools, you got to have the mindset in order to overcome this panic. The best way, write this down, the best way to deal with a panic attack is not reacting to it at all. It's easier said than done. But what I mean by that is you ride the wave of panic. You're having a panic attack at the symphony. Sit there. You're sitting there. You're overwhelmed. Your depth of field vision is narrow. You're dizzy. You're lightheaded. Your heart is beating. Right? You know what you do? You sit there and you don't move. You don't run out of the room. You sit still. You focus on your breath. So what if you're missing the symphony? You're dealing with internal challenges. So what if you're missing the movie? You're missing parts of the movie. You're dealing with something far greater than that. So don't pay attention to the symphony. What you do is you're sitting there, you're at dinner or whatever, and then you accept it. You accept it. You go through the waves. It's not going to kill you. The panic is, and internally, you have to dialogue your way out of it. When I say dialogue, use your conscious thinking, brain, mind, whatever you want to call it. Use your conscious thoughts. Say to yourself, hey, you have to combat it with these thoughts. Say, hey, I'm not going to die. Panic doesn't kill you. This is just a panic attack. Okay? It's not life-threatening. It's uncomfortable, but it's not life-threatening. Who cares if people see me sweating? It is perspiration. My body is getting rid of bad toxins. Who cares? Dialogue your way. This is the key to rewiring your brain, okay? I am feeling woozy because I am anxious. I've never thrown up when I had anxiety, and I won't now. And you didn't throw up before, did you? So you're not going to do it now. Dialogue your way. Say, accept it. I don't care if people think that. Even if I do throw up, I don't care. I don't care what people think. I am on the path to being a warrior, not a worrier. I am on the right path. You got to use your thinking mind in order to combat this anxiety. You got to ride the wave of panic. You're having an attack. Ride the wave. Don't run out of the room. Don't call anybody. This is the key to overcoming and being a warrior. There are so many times where I wanted to run out of the room, but I just didn't. there's so many times where I just wanted to run away so quickly. I was freaking out. I was scared for my life. I was scared for my life. Literally, you think you're going to die. You believe that you're going to die. That's what's going through anxiety sufferers, panic attacks. That's what happens. You honestly believe you're going to die. So I say that panic attack sufferers and anxiety sufferers are the most powerful people that you could ever meet, because when I recovered, you become a warrior, an inspiration. You become somebody else, powerful human being with strong energy. That's what you're doing now. You're on your way to becoming somebody with strong energy. Okay? So that's what I did to overcome anxiety attacks. That's what you need to do. You need to rewire the brain, because if you don't run from the situation, if you don't call up a loved one, what's going on? You're going to rewire your brain. Your brain's going to be like, hey, wait, this isn't not a scary place to be. Because if you run away, your brain's going to be like, that's a scary place, that's dangerous, and you're going to end up fearing that place, that situation, that sensation, okay? The sensations in your body are scary, but you have to start perceiving them differently in order to overcome anxiety. This has to be a challenge for you. I made it a challenge. I knew that if I had an anxious situation coming up where I was scared of having a panic attack, I would prepare myself for that event. How do you prepare yourself? Meditate on it. Spend 10 minutes sitting with yourself and use visual imagery and imagine how you want that event to go, how your posture is. What is your posture going to be like at the event? What's your breathing going to be like at the event? Are you going to run away from that panic? Or are you going to sit there, sit up tall like a warrior? Are you going to have a glowing yellow golden light emanate from your chest and your body when you're sitting there? Are you going to be laughing? Are you going to be, look that panic attack in the eye? Because it's time for you to stay still and not run away. It's time that you overcome it. It's time that you rewire your brain and start thinking differently about these situations, because they are uncomfortable, but they are not life-threatening. You guys are warriors. You're not warriors. Thank you for listening to this podcast. This is number 8, and I hope you enjoyed it. I love you all. Have a great day. See you guys.